I want you to think about this tonight. Imagine working in a building covered in mold and infested with rats. That's the reality for correction officers across Connecticut, according to a scathing report from a state watchdog. We told you about this last week, but tonight we're learning more about the impact it's having on people. NBC Connecticut's Jeremy Chen joining us live in Hartford. Jeremy, some are now calling for change.
Absolutely, Keisha. And this nearly 60-page report paints a very troubling picture about the conditions in our state prison system. Now, the people who spoke at tonight's public hearing say that this report confirms their concerns and also want to see the Department of Correction take action in response to this.
These are not isolated incidents. They are, in fact, systemic failures.
Failures people spoke about during a public hearing about the conditions of confinement report. The report from the Office of the Correction Ombuds saying the Connecticut prison system is operating, quote, in a state of institutional failure after looking at 13 facilities last year. A former inmate saying conditions at York Correctional in East Lyme were deplorable when she served time.
Things are deteriorating. Leaking roofs, mold, broken plumbing.
The report found issues with mold-contaminated ventilation, rodent infestations, sewage backups. It also found the Department of Correction heavily relied on lockdowns all across the state, not because of emergencies, but due to staffing shortages. Correction Ombudsman Devon Ward says the report is not about casting blame on any one person.
Oversight is not about blaming workers. It's about examining systems. What this report documents is a system under sustained stress.
He also made it clear the conditions also hurt correctional staff.
They show up every day in facilities that are understaffed, aging, and under constant operational strain. They too have raised concerns about the need for better conditions and increased healthcare staffing.
The Department of Correction acknowledged there was room for improvement, but said in part, quote, the Ombudsman's report contains a number of allegations which are unsupported in either fact or law and appear to serve only to foster an extremely negative perception of the agency. The people testifying, though, say prison conditions must improve so that when inmates return to society, they're not saddled with untreated illnesses or trauma.
Families become caregivers overnight. Community clinics absorb the cost. Cities already stretched thin are left to deal with the fallout of state neglect.
Now, the Department of Corrections says they will have a detailed response to the Ombudsman's report by February 20. Live in Hartford, Jeremy Chen, NBC Connecticut News. Keisha, I'll send it back to you.